Hello everyone and welcome to the continuous class of tenses. As you know, yesterday we were done with the present tense. And we did all its form, that's present indefinite, which we also call present simple. Then we did present progressive, which is also called present continuous, and then present perfect complete tense and present perfect continuous tense. Now, today we are going to take past tense. Now, as you know, past is something, an action that's already taken place. So, before we go into this, let's draw a table like we did yesterday, so that we understand it better. So, past tense, we have past simple, then we will write here past continuous, and then we will write here past perfect, and then past perfect continuous. Now let this be affirmative, and then we shall be having negative, and then negative interrogative. Okay, so in past simple or past indefinite tense, what should the structure be? It is S plus V2, but this V2 is used only in case of affirmative. We do not use it with negative, we do not use it with negative interrogative. There we use first form of the verb, and I will tell you the reason why. For example, let us see S plus V2 in affirmative. What does it become? For example, Rina cooked her meal. So we have used second form of the verb. Rina cooked her meal. Now, why don't we use second form here in negative case? See why? Because here it will be, the structure will be like this. S plus did not plus V1. Why? See, just like in present tense we did use do and does, and we said where we use do and where we use does, but in past tense we use did with everything, every sort of subject. For example, we can say I did, we did, you did, he did, she did, it did, they did. For example, boys did, the girls did, Javed did. So did is used with every subject. So you don't have to get confused over here, just like we were in past present tense where we use do and does. Here we simply use did. Now, because why we are using V1 here? Because we cannot consecutively use same form of the verb twice. So that's why did is already second form. So actually we are using here with the auxiliary verb. But with the main verb we are using V1. So it will be like Rina did not cook her meal. It will not be Rina did not cooked her meal. It will be Rina did not cook her meal. And then, for example, interrogative will be having did Rina cook her meal, and in negative interrogative it will be didn't Rina cook her meal. So you have to remember, in past simple we use second form of the verb only in affirmative case, only in positive case, not in the negative one, not in the interrogative one, and not in the negative interrogative one. Why? The reason being that we are already using second form of the verb with the auxiliary verb, and we cannot consecutively use same form of the verb with two verbs which are falling in line. Hope you understand this. Now we have past continuous. As I said, wherever you find the continuous tense, wherever you find the progressive tense, we always use fourth form of the verb, irrespective of whether it is present tense, past tense, or future tense. So it will be like this. S. Similar, just like we had is, am, or in present tense, the same becomes here, was and were, plus V4. So that is to say, was is used with singular and were is used with plural. So if we are to use a past continuous, it will be like this. Reena was cooking her meal. And what will it become here? Sorry. Reena was not cooking her meal. And then here was Reena cooking her meal. See, the easiest way to remember tense and never forget them is that you have to draw this table and you have to practice twice or thrice. I will not say that you will spend the entire month with this. Once you spend 2 or 3 days with it, that is enough. And tense is actually what makes people tense in the grammar, and it is the most, what we can say, vital organ as far as grammar is concerned. So in past continuous, just like we had am not, is not, and are not, we here have was not and were not. And similarly, as I said, V4 is always used in case of continuous tense, progressive. So whether it is present, past, or future, we use V4. So it's like S plus was or were plus V4. Reena was cooking her meal. Reena was not cooking her meal. Was Reena cooking her meal? Now we will come to past perfect. Just like we use fourth form of the verb with continuous tense, we always use third form of the verb with perfect tense. So, for example, in past present perfect we had S plus has plus have plus V3. But here we know that where we use have and where we use has. Here instead of have and has we have had, and had is just like did. Had is used with everything. For example, I had, you had, we had, she had, it had, they had, boys had, girls had, Reena had. So it will be like this. S plus had plus V3. So it will be like this. Reena had cooked a meal. Needless to say, whenever you find a word which is ending in ed, so we are to pronounce it like the last letter has to be pronounced as T. So it will not be cooked, it will be cooked. So wherever you find it, so you have to use it as cooked. So Reena had cooked her meal. And similarly here, S plus had not plus V3, it's very simple. Reena had not cooked her meal. Reena had not cooked her meal. I'm deliberately using only one example so that you can transform it. This shall be the base. And similarly, sometimes you will see certain people write hadn't. Hadn't is simply a contraction, that is had not. So you need not to be told about that. So here what will it become? Had Reena cooked her meal. So this is how it goes. Reena had cooked her meal. Reena had not cooked her meal. Had Reena cooked her meal. So if we go into negative interrogative, it is simple, hadn't. And similarly here it will be wasn't. Okay, I hope it's fine. Now past perfect continuous. So just like in present perfect continuous, we used I have been and then fourth form, or she has been and then fourth form of the verb. There is a slight change here. So it's like this: S plus had been, sorry, plus V4. So let's change the example now. It will become too redundant. For example, Javed had been struggling for the job. Javed had been struggling for the job. And similarly, what will it become here? Plus S plus had not plus been plus V4. So it will become Javed had not been struggling for the job. And similarly, what will it become here? Had Javed been struggling for the job. So why in interrogative we put the auxiliary verb first? So it's like this: Javed had been struggling for the job, Javed had not been struggling for the job, had Javed been struggling for the job. And now if we turn it into negative interrogative, it will be hadn't Javed been struggling for the job. This is about past tense. Hope you understand it. And as I said, until and unless you don't practice it, you don't have to remember the rules. Once you practice it, you will similarly at the same time simultaneously you will remember it. So let me wrap it now. We will go to perfect tense. Sorry, this future tense. Again, we will draw a table. Future simple. Then future continuous. Future perfect and future perfect continuous. So it will be affirmative, negative, interrogative, and then negative interrogative. See, what do we do in future continuous? When we come into simple, future simple, the subject is like this: S plus shall or will plus V1 plus V1. Now let us try to understand where we use shall and where we use will. See, shall is used with two types of things. One is predictions, and second is something happening in the future about which we are not sure. That is to say, for example, we say whenever the date sheet is published for the students, we say that the examination shall commence from 15th of, say, January. So that is why we use shall there, because it's not a prediction, it is a plan. So, but there we are not sure. It may get delayed, it may get postponed. So we use shall at such places. And similarly, predictions. For example, I shall be in Srinagar the next day. It's a prediction. You don't know it. And then similar Similarly, will is used with definite things. Definite things, that means where you are sure. For example, I will say after Sunday there will be Monday. So there is no doubt about that. So you cannot say after Sunday there shall be Monday. So you'll say after Sunday there will be Monday. And similarly, we say if you do not eat, you will die, because the result is sure. If somebody doesn't eat, what we can say, he will die. But never say if you do not love me, I will die. Nobody dies out of that. So similarly, will is, you have to remember this very simple rule. Whenever you find that a sentence about future is going to happen for sure, use will. Whenever you feel like the sentence about future may take place or may not take place, use shall. Very simple. There is no other thing that you, the way other you can remember it. So future simple. Subject. For example, I shall write a book. I shall write a book. And similarly, in negative it will become I shall not write a book, because we have to use not. And similarly, interrogative, shall I write a book? And then you have to turn it into negative, that is shan't. Shan't I write a book? This shall be future simple. And similarly, when you come into future continuous, see how the structure will be. Subject plus shall or will plus be plus V4. So here we do not use have, has or had. We use what? Subject plus shall plus will plus be plus V4. So what will it be like? Future continuous? Same. I shall be writing a book, and I shall not be writing a book. Similarly, shall I be writing a book, and shan't I be writing a book. So you have to remember that subject plus shall will plus be. Instead of using have, has, had, we use be here. And because it is continuous tense, we always use fourth form. So that will be I shall be writing a book, I shall not be writing a book, shall I be writing a book, and shan't I be writing a book. Now, we will come to what we can say future perfect. Now let's come to future perfect. Here we use have. Just like we use there, we use have. The subject is like this. Subject plus shall oblique will plus have. Now because it is perfect tense, we always use third form of the verb. So it will be like I shall have written a book. Now here, I didn't write have, has, had, because here we are not using have with this, what we can say V3. We are actually using it with shall or will, and we can use have at all the places. So, I shall have written a book. I shall not have written the book. And similarly, shall I have written the book, and then shan't I have written the book. So I will repeat it in future perfect. In all perfects, we use third form of the verb. So it is like this: subject plus shall or will plus have. Just like we added be in the continuous, future continuous. Apart from against be, we are using have plus third form of the verb. And you knew, I told you where to use will and where to use shall. Don't go into grammar rule. Just remember this. When you see that something is being predicted, use shall. And when you see that something happening in the future may happen or may not happen, use shall. And when you think that something is going to happen for sure, so use will. For example, if you do not work hard, you will fail. That is a fact. With facts, we use will. And I shall have written a book. I shall not have written a book. Shall I have written a book? Shan't I have written a book? Again, I will request you to practice it. Until and unless you don't practice it, just for 2 days, practice it. You will never forget it. I can give it that in writing. So this is future perfect. Then we have future perfect continuous. Last but not the least, it is like this: subject plus shall or will plus have been plus V4 plus V4. Now let's change the example. For example, Ria shall have been dancing. Ria shall have been dancing. Now actually, if you see, the future perfect continuous makes no sense. But why is it there? For example, if we are to exactly know what's going to happen at a particular time in the future, then we use future perfect tense, continuous tense. Otherwise, the present grammarians, they don't acknowledge it. They don't believe that there is any tense like future perfect continuous. For example, now here you will understand that Ria shall have been dancing by now tomorrow. As we say in Kashmiri, सुबह वुनकस आज बह करा dance. इसी को बोलते हैं future perfect continuous tense. सुबह वुनकस. So that's why Ria shall have been dancing by now tomorrow. सुबह वुनकस ऐसे कर रही है. या कभी कभार sometimes we leave for a journey, हमें कहीं जाना होता है, फिर हम बोलते हैं कि सुबह वुनकस आज बह शहर बिहित. What does that mean? या सुबह वुनकस आज बह शहर दावत खेवान. या सुबह वुनकस आज बह एग्जाम्स में लेखा paper. These are perfect continuous tenses in future. So Ria shall have been dancing by now tomorrow. And then Ria shall not have been dancing. And similarly, shall Ria have been dancing? Shan't Ria have been dancing? This is how we complete 12 tenses. I know that I just took 2 classes of it, but given the fact that you are all graduates and you are to prepare for the exam, I cannot prolong it because I want you to learn the things quickly and learn the things in the what we can say easiest way possible. Now this is about it. Now you practice it first, and in the next lecture we will have exercises. That is actually your main motto. You are to do the exercises and we are to do the transformation. Transformation means we are to turn a particular sentence from one tense to another tense, and that will be possible only when you learn what we can say such tactics, when you practice it. And in the next lecture that we shall be having live on the Zoom, so there we will try to transform the sentences and do the exercises, and I hope that you'll what we can say cooperate with me for that question purposes. Thank you and have a nice day ahead. I hope you will practice it. Thank you again. And for any questions, if you have any questions, you can drop me in the what we can say in a DM me on my personal number, and I will try to solve it. And always feel free to call me whenever you face any sort of issue till your exams are there. I'm always there for you. Just give, if you cannot call, you can DM me, and howsoever way you want to contact, I'm always there. Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day.